Hey guys, Sensei Tom down here at Torah Martial Arts Academy. In this video, we're going to be looking at the self-defense technique for the blue and white belt level in our Jiu Jitsu curriculum, okay? We've got 4 different techniques in this one. Let's get started. First one is a variation of the guillotine escape. We've already looked at the front headlock or guillotine escape, the standing frame escape this way. Now we're going to look at a situation where maybe for some reason I'm unable to get this one to work. Remember, this one is where I'm applying pressure to the throat here. If I'm unable to make this one work, maybe it's just not having the desired effect, maybe they're being really stubborn, I'm having a hard time getting this technique to work for me, we'll do something else. I'm going to take the arm that was framing on the neck, and I'm going to drape it all the way over their shoulder and kind of hang my body weight here. That way I can take some pressure off my neck. As the person starts to pull up to apply the choke, I'm going to use that to hop around sideways, so I'm kind of facing perpendicular, and then I'm going to use my knee here to buckle their knee forwards as I bend them over backwards, and then as we fall down, I'm going to be sure to shuffle my feet to the side, so this way I don't get injured on the fall, okay? So let me show that one more time, from the other angle. Again, front headlock or guillotine, let's do the sides at the same time. Front headlock, I grab the wrist, I was unable to make this one work, so I just drape this over the top of the shoulder to take some weight off. From here, I hop my feet around the side, and now I use my knee to buckle her knee, and I bend my body to the side, take down, and all the way down to the floor here. Okay, let's rotate this way. Once you get down to the floor, there's a couple things you can do. One thing you can do is you can take the arm, get underneath the shoulder nice and deep, and put some shoulder pressure into the neck and jaw, and a lot of times this will force the person to let go. And then from here, now I can just establish my side control. If I need to get away, I can hop up, throw a couple punches, and be on my way. Or if I want to control the person, I can stay on the ground with it, okay? So that's guillotine escape variation number 2, okay? Next one we're looking at, front bear hug escapes. 2 variations. First one is if she's underneath the arms. This is a really simple one. Whatever side her head is on, I take my arm and I place it against the neck and I make a frame. I take my palm and I reinforce that frame, and then I drive my arm forward into the neck as I step backwards. Okay, from this side, same side. Again, her head's on my right side, so I use my right arm. Sometimes if their head's really tight, you may have to kind of wedge it, saw it back and forth to get it in there. Make a fist, reinforce. From here, sometimes what I'll do is as they push away, I'll hold on to the neck, and then I can use that to throw a knee first before I drive them away. You can do it with or without the knee, depending on how much damage you want to inflict. That's if they're under the arms. If they bear hug over the arms, okay? So this time I can't frame on the neck, but I generally can still use my arms from the bottom down, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame on the hips this time, here. As I push, I'm going to drop my right leg back. This is probably not going to break the grip, okay? But after I throw the knee, or 2 or 3, that will generally break the grip. From here, what I like to do is move into the clinch position. And then, of course, from there, there's a variety of takedowns you can do from that position. All right, one more time from this side. Same thing, she's over the arms. Okay, so I can still generally move my elbows from the bottom here, frame the hip, push and drop the right leg back. And then that same leg is going to throw the knee, maybe 2 or 3 if I need it, and then once they let go, I'll move into the clinch. Sometimes I'll try to control the arm here, otherwise I'll just grab, making sure I keep my head down so I don't get punched in the face, okay? Last one on this level is one more wrist lock. This one's called Nikio. Nikio is this kind of bent wrist lock, or the Z lock, some people call it. I don't like to use this one as a standalone technique. I really like this as a follow-up if my opponent counters my Ikkyo attempt. Let me show you what I mean. From the straight wrist grab, okay? Like I said, I don't like to go to Nikyo first, because if I go to Nikyo first, I'm still right here in front of them. They can throw the punch there. So I prefer Ikkyo. This is the straight wrist lock we looked at in a previous video. But sometimes the person just manages to stand up. They're too strong, I can't keep them down. So as they stand up, I pull the elbow in, and then I apply the pressure to the wrist here. Sometimes they'll drop down to the knee. If that's the case, I can abandon the wrist lock and I can throw a knee strike here. I could keep pulling them down, face down into the mat. I could even go back to Ikkyo and get around behind them at this point. And now it would be much more difficult for them to counter since they're face down on the floor. So one more time, she grabs the collar. So I throw the Ikkyo, straight wrist lock. But once I get her here, she manages to stand up. She's too strong, so I just pull the elbow in. And then once I get her fingers pointed right at my face, I can add the second hand, and then I have the Nikyo right here. This one is very, very painful. The pressure builds very quickly right here on the wrist. So make sure you're careful with that when you do this with a partner. Go very slow, because again, if you're training with somebody who doesn't train on a regular basis, they may not know where you want them to go. So make sure whatever you do it very slow and controlled. Tell your partner what you're doing so they know where to move their body so as not to get injured. All right, guys, have fun with those. We'll see you next time.